Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News, an Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Manoj Singh Rana bringing glimpses of major developments of the day from across the globe. The headlines: SCO leaders call for reforms to the WTO, climate smart agriculture at an SCO development bank. Farmers issue internal matter to India. Canadian leaders' remarks unwarranted and ill-informed, says the External Affairs Ministry of India. European Union and the ASEAN agree to upgrade relationship to strategic partnership. On World AIDS Day, UN AIDS country director lauds India's efforts at eliminating AIDS by 2030. And in cricket, India faces Australia in the third and final ODI in Canberra tomorrow. The 19th meeting of the Council of Heads of Governments of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, concluded on Monday in a virtual format. The joint communique made a strong case for reforms in WTO, climate smart agriculture, and for setting up of the SCO Development Bank. On the WTO, the heads of the delegation said a transparent, open, inclusive, fair, non-discriminatory, multilateral trading system based on the fundamental principles and key values of the WTO is required. They were also in favor of resolving trade facilitation issues in the region. In order to meet the challenges of ensuring food security, the resolve was to go in for environmentally friendly and organic products. They called for promoting smart agriculture and the introduction of agro-innovations. Setting up of the SCO Development Bank and the SCO Development Fund got the nod of the leaders. At the SCO Startup Forum organized by India, need to develop entrepreneurship among the youth of the SCO countries and cooperation in the innovation was emphasized. The SCO Digital Exhibition dedicated to the common Buddhist heritage in New Delhi was opened on Monday. Subsequently, India has decided to hold the Festival of National Cuisine of the SCO member states, which has received warm welcome from the member nations. The next meeting of the SCO Council of Heads of Government will be held in 2021 in Kazakhstan. The External Affairs Ministry of India has rebuffed the statements from certain Canadian leaders relating to farmers in India. Spokesperson of the ministry, Mr. Anurag Srivastava, responded to media queries on the comments made by Canadian leaders and said they were ill-informed and unwarranted. He added that the matter pertains to the internal matters of a democratic country and it is best that diplomatic conversations are not misrepresented for political purposes. Meanwhile, in New Delhi, a high-level ministerial committee met farmers' representatives to end the impasse over their demands. The government urged the farmers to suspend agitation and join for another round of talks on Thursday, 3rd of December. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal and MOS Commerce Som Prakash led the government team at the talks with farmers' representatives. German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas said on Tuesday that the European Union and the ASEAN group of Southeast Asian countries have agreed to upgrade their relationship to a strategic partnership. He was addressing a virtual meeting with his counterparts from the EU and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. The German leader said, as close economic partners, they will stand up for safe and open trade routes and a free and fair trade. US President-elect Joe Biden announced his senior economic team and his plans to nominate the first woman to head the Treasury Department as well as several liberal economists and policy specialists. In a statement, Biden said he would nominate Janet Yellen, the former Federal Reserve Chair, to lead the Treasury Department. The former Clinton and Obama advisor Neera Tanden has been nominated to serve as the Director of the Office of Management and Budget. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. World AIDS Day is being observed today with the theme Ending the HIV/AIDS Epidemic, Resilience and Impact for this year. The day provides an opportunity for people to unite in the fight against the HIV and to show solidarity with people with HIV. The WHO has warned that the HIV epidemic is not over and may be accelerating during the COVID-19 pandemic with a devastating impact on communities and countries. India is a signatory to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and has committed itself to achieving the target of ending the epidemic of AIDS by 2030 and is making commendable progress with its National AIDS Control Programme. In an exclusive interview to All India Radio, the UN AIDS Country Director India, Dr. Bilali Kamara, praised the role of India in AIDS prevention and control and underlined the priorities in the years to come.
Not forget people who have gone. Always remember we can win. We can win because we are on the way of winning, specifically in India. I want to invite everybody to really remember that we can win against HIV/AIDS as a public health threat by 2030.
External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, spoke to Australian Foreign Minister Marise Payne on Tuesday. In a tweet, Dr. Jaishankar said they reviewed regional and global developments and discussed current concerns. India's Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Forest, Mr. Prakash Javadekar, has said that people and industries are key drivers in our efforts towards mitigating the climate change. Addressing the Industry Transition Leadership Summit, he stated that industries account for 30% of global CO2 emissions and top industries have undertook voluntarily emission cuts and are actively promoting renewable energy consumption. Swedish Deputy Prime Minister Isabel Lövin stressed the need for India and Sweden to work together, share best practices and mobilize finance to deal with climate change issue. She added that the government of Sweden is committed to working in this direction. In Bangladesh, demonstrations were held in Dhaka demanding arrest of the hardline Islamist Hifazat-e-Islam chief Junaid Babu Nagri and Joint Secretary Mamunul Haq for opposing the installation of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's sculpture. The protest was organized by 60 social and cultural organizations under the banner of Ghatak Dal Nirmul Committee. The organizations formed a human chain and demanded the ban on the radical, communal and terrorism-based politics of the Jamaat-e-Islami and Hifazat-e-Islam, reported the official news agency BSS. And now the coronavirus updates from around the world. The WHO has confirmed over 62.66 million COVID infections worldwide. As numbers rise, the United Nations has appealed for about $35 billion as humanitarian assistance around the globe due to the increase in the demand due to the COVID pandemic. On the vaccine front, Moderna has applied for emergency authorization with the FDA in the USA. It has claimed that its vaccine has 94.1% efficacy. Meanwhile, Pfizer Inc. and BioNTech's COVID have applied for EU emergency approval for the shot on Tuesday. If approved, the EU can roll out the vaccination before the end of this year. The Sputnik V vaccine, jointly developed by Russian Direct Investment Fund, RDIF, and Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, arrived in India on Tuesday for clinical trials. In a statement, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories said the clinical trials of the vaccine are set to start. Beijing's dilly-dallying on WHO team's proposed visit to China to investigate the origins of coronavirus has come out in open. China is yet to give any confirmation on the visit of the WHO-led international team for this purpose. The COVID-19 outbreak was first detected in the Chinese city of Wuhan. The Chinese Foreign Ministry on Monday evaded a direct response and being questioned on WHO official Mike Ryan's comments on WHO's intention to send a team to Wuhan. Moving on to sports. In cricket, India will play Australia in the third and final ODI at Canberra tomorrow. After two successive defeats in Sydney, Team India will look forward to avoid a whitewash in the three-match ODI series. Seven-time Formula One world champion Lewis Hamilton has tested positive for COVID-19 and will miss Sunday's Sakhir Grand Prix in Bahrain. India is celebrating the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let us listen to his favourite bhajan, Vaishnav Jan, by artists from Azerbaijan.
Vaishnav Jan to tene kahiye je pir parayi.
And with that, we end this bulletin. See you at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.
है।